Good morning, everybody. How's it going? Ben's Brick Designs. I'm Ben. Good to see everybody. Happy Sunday. Happy sports ball, Super Bowl, whatever, Sunday. What's going on in everybody's worlds today? So it's been a week, full week, since I've done any streaming, and I wasn't able to really show this off since then. I think we built this on the last stream. So yeah, I need to tighten up the back ends a little bit because those are fragile and fall off a little bit, but that's the new stuff. I haven't got the, what's up, Jeff? I haven't got the new parts in yet. I thought I would get them, but I haven't. So yeah, that's what's going on. Yesterday was AFOL day. For those of you who are in a lug, or even if you're not, I guess, was AFOL day, and at the Lego store, you could get a discount if you said that you were a member of a lug, I guess. So I took advantage to get the gift with purchases for the year of the ox. I was born in 1973, which means I am in the year of the ox. So I'm really glad I got that Zodiac sign one. I didn't get the figure because I think the figure is part of a set. Then you get the freebie, right? Which goes with the other freebie that I got. So they're pushing the rescue kind of thing for the towns. And then I got the Valentine's Day box of chocolates and flour set, which I think is cute. So got those going. But the big purchase was for X-Wing. Yay! So that's what we're doing today. I really just wanted to kind of take advantage of the AFOL day, and it was either this or like the Sith TIE fighter, the TIE Vector or whatever it is, the Dorito winged TIE fighter ship. This one didn't really have, neither of them had like really great figures. This is another Poe Dameron, but it's also got Janna, who we pretty sure is like Lando's kid. I don't know where the camera is. I don't have the build camera up. And then we've got one of many Knights of Ren. I don't know if I'm going to go back and get all the sets that have the Knights of Ren in them so I can get all the Knights of Ren. I don't have a reason to have all the Knights of Ren. But now I have a Poe Dameron that I can use and make a microfighter of this and use that pilot. And then I have a microfighter of the Night Buzzard and I can use that guy. And then there's another R2-D2. So that's it. That's what we're going to build today. So let's get on it. Thank you for being here. Thank you for watching. Glad everybody's here. All of you who have subscribed after seeing my 2 videos on TikTok, I appreciate you being here. This is kind of what we do. I either build or I design. The Star Wars sets that have been out lately, I'm kind of like, another X-Wing. I'd like to get more of them this year when they come out. There just hasn't been really anything I've wanted. I feel like I've got a lot of it, and repeat sets are kind of frustrating. There's some stickers, probably won't put on. Looks like there's 6 bags, so we should get through this. Might be able to get through this today. Doesn't look that thick. So cheers. My kind of warm coffee. So, after this, we are going to record our 5th episode of Ready or Not podcast. Woot woot. And we've already encountered drama. So apparently, and I'm not going to call out names or specifics, But, what's up, Andrea? Thanks for being here. There is a community that is a fan community of the show that we watch. And they are kind of a rabid, toxic fan base. I'm not saying that for everybody involved, but I will say the organizers probably. There have been... What's up, Kodiak? There have been 4 episodes, good morning, of our podcasts out. And already we've got people saying, hey, if you want to talk to the stars from these podcasts, you let us know. And then almost immediately they say, well, the stars have listened to your podcast and they aren't big fans, but we'll make a good pitch for you on our Facebook group. And then later it's like, yeah, the only real Facebook group is our Facebook group. And it's like, we didn't ask for any input at all about this. We made a Facebook group basically so we could announce the podcast episodes coming out and discuss the show. Got a Discord server, Instagram account, Twitter account, all the stuff, right? They basically show up and we're like, you know, ours is the best and yours is crap. Why don't you come join ours?
Even though our page is not a fan page.
It's not a fan page. It's a podcast page. It's like, okay. So we're like, okay, we'll let them in and we'll just see what's going on. And because we had an idea that it probably wasn't. We had some followers on Instagram and whatnot that were kind of like the wording that they were using was all weird. And Beth did a lot of sleuthing. She's like, I think this is all one person. So we checked it out and we're like, well, maybe they won't be so bad if we just allow them into our group. It was bad. It was like immediately, like we allowed them in. They started making all these weird posts about stuff.
And they were bashing another podcast.
They were bashing another podcast and saying that podcast was bad. And then like the next post they were saying your podcast was bad and the stars of the show aren't listening to your podcast because it's not good. And we're like, did we even ask?
Yeah.
It's like
we're rude and we swear.
We're rude and we swear, and we didn't ask for like any input from any of the cast or crew or anything. You know, this is like, it's a fan podcast. We're just doing it because Beth likes the show, and we thought it was a fun thing to do.
I think they're misrepresenting themselves.
So I think we both think they're misrepresenting the actual stars of the show. And we've tried to get in contact with like the agents, the stars agents, because one of the girls went on to do Andromeda, which was a fairly big science fiction show.
It was a Gene Roddenberry show.
Yeah. So,
I'm surprised you never watched that.
I watched a few.
Do you remember her?
I don't.
Sorry, I'm really like taking over your...
No, this isn't just me.
I'm not coming in because my hair's all wild.
Oh, your hair is fine. So here we got a dual mold Poe Dameron. Come on, focus. Nope, not going to focus. Okay, fantastic. So yeah, it's just drama and haters going to hate and all that stuff. Yeah, they really do have a lot of free time because this is just, I just don't understand. Like, it's the comment meme, and here's your R2, and apparently the printing on this is a bit wonky. You can see it drift over to one side. I think people have been really upset about the print qualities of the R2s lately. You can't really tell. I think you can maybe tell in here. Anyway, it's not great. And I don't care. So the whole reason we started a podcast is because we had a lot of time and wanted to do something fun. But I think these people are just taking it to a whole new level. Like, this is their... And I told Beth, I was like, you know what? This is their little fiefdom. They own this corner of the fan world of this show, and that's fine. If they want to badmouth us, they can. It's not going to keep us from recording the show. It's like we're hosting our own... we're paying for storage on a site. So even if nobody listens, we're doing it because we're having fun doing it. So there's another podcast that does this same TV show. And they reached out to us this morning and said, hey, we see you ran afoul of these people. so did we. Like almost the exact same time. Like we got this many episodes in, and they kind of came after us and did the same thing they're doing to you. Just so you know, just stick with what you're doing. You know, don't worry about them. And so we're like, oh, that's really nice. You know, so their podcast is, what's the name of their podcast? Still Not Ready, which is another Ready or Not podcast. And it's two ladies who are doing the same thing we are, where they watch it, they review it, and they talk about the show. So that was very nice. And I think it shows that what we're doing is... you know, on the up and up, and it's not, you know, if you ever get bad wind of our podcast being horrible to people, it's not true for those who listen. Fairly confident every fandom has that one fan. Yeah. 3/4 of my R2D2 figures are misprinted. Oh yeah, they do. Yeah, I'm going to have to go back and look at all the heads, because most of the time I don't intentionally take the R2 heads apart, but, and I really wish this would focus a little better. There we go. You can kind of see it drifting off to one side. I don't intentionally take them apart, but I so rarely need them outside of the set that I have a bag of R2D2s, and their heads just kind of come off, so I don't know which is for which set kind of thing. So yeah, so that's our plug, is for the Still Not Ready podcast. They're a bit farther along than we are, so and we're trying. We didn't want to listen to them initially because we didn't want to unintentionally or subliminally copy their format or any ideas. We kind of wanted to go it on our own and just kind of come up. You know, both of us have listened to plenty of podcasts, but we don't want to listen to a podcast about the exact same show and then have ours sound exactly the same way. But now that we've got a few under our belt, I think we're going to go back and start listening to them. Because, you know, small-time streamers and stuff got to support each other. All there is to it. Other than that, that's what's going on. No new builds. I was on Jeff's stream last Wednesday, and it was a pleasant hour of talking about stuff. I was going to try to work on a little bit of design stuff with while I was talking, but it's hard, like answering the questions and being focused on that. And being productive at the same time. So I didn't. I had it open and I did like 5 things, and then I was like, okay. I'm going to try to redo a new class shuttle. I have one already, and I've got to figure out the clone pilot for it. But every time I look at it, it's like it's 102 pieces.
Can I ask you a technical question?
A technical question, sure. Are we going to hive source this?
No. This is really basic.
Okay.
This is a me question. Your wireless headphones, how do you connect them to the PlayStation so I can watch the
with
episodes?
A cord.
Okay, just have to use a cord.
Yeah.
Okay, gotcha.
The wireless for whatever reason. PlayStation 4 doesn't like Bluetooth. The controllers they're not Bluetooth, but they're RF, and it doesn't like interpreting another signal on top of the RF to the Bluetooth, so you can't set up a Bluetooth headset.
I don't know what any of that means.
To the PlayStation. Well, no, this is because the original reason you got those for me, because I was like, I'd really love a Bluetooth headset to go with playing Battlefront and stuff. Turns out you can't.
I'm sorry.
The headphones should be in there, and then there's a cord either on that table or that side table. Yeah.
Thanks.
You
Sorry, listeners.
Yeah, because they're so bent out of shape that I'm not talking about nonsense. Yeah, it was fun, Jeff. Thanks for having me on. We should do one where you're on mine if our schedules line up. We'll just do this. Maybe I'll sort or something and ask you questions. So who's watching the game today? Anybody? Anybody care? I don't care about either team, really. I haven't watched football in a few years. I was doing my, like 2 years ago, I started my I'm down with everything that the NFL stands for. But I love watching football, right? And it was just kind of a bummer. Because I'm like, they don't treat their players well once they've retired. They are very slow to react to like social issues. They do good stuff sometimes, right? They have good programs for kids. They do philanthropic work, blah, blah, blah. Okay, yeah, we'll be here. I'll be here till 11:30, Andrea, if you want to come back. No sweat. But I love watching football. And so a couple of years ago, I was like, you know what? This is a stand I can easily take. I'm not gonna give them my eyeballs anymore because I just don't like how they kind of ignore people who are, domestic abusers, people who are just kind of bad people. They just kind of hand wave over it and be like, well, but they're stars, kind of the mentality of, well, you're in college and you're not doing great on your grades, but because you play for the team, we're going to kind of like give you a pass. That's not to say the geniuses who play for Rice or the Air Force or something aren't, absolute menches, and they're good people and they're smart and that kind of stuff. I'm not talking about those people. I'm talking about like the people who kind of skate through on the fact that they can play sports really well. Oh, going off on a tangent. But I really, my dad watched football when I was a kid, and we always had it on Sundays and Monday nights. And so growing up with it, I just got used to watching it. And now it's like, it kind of sucks that I can't. Because to me, that's a very visceral example of fall. It's now fall. The marching band sounds, the themes of the NFL play in the background, that kind of stuff. You watch a game on Thanksgiving, you have Super Bowl parties, all that nonsense. So to willingly turn it off is kind of, it sucked. I hated it. I didn't like it, but it's kind of an easy thing to stand for. But then the Super Bowl comes up and you're like, oh fuck, I guess I'll go to somebody's house and watch a game. Or, the joke is, yeah, I'm going to go watch the commercials. But in truth, I like kind of having it on in the background, I like the din. And that's the other thing. Now, because of the pandemic, there's not a lot of din. There's not the crowd noise and stuff like that. They've piped some into some games because the players were having a problem playing without it, which I think is hilarious. So we'll see. It's like, I don't really care, but also I've got nothing else to do today. I say that I've got yard work to do, I've got a podcast to record, I've got furniture to put together, and that's all after this. So we'll see. This is really... Encoding overloaded. Please consider... What did it say? Huh. Alright. I think if I move too fast, it freaks it out. Not a sports bear, but I hope everyone stays safe. Yep. Same. It was almost apparently a very bad situation. They all went for, like, one of the teams went for haircuts, and there was like 20 of them, and one of the hair salon stylist person came back while they were all there saying that they had reported positive for COVID, and of course there was like, everybody out. What's up, M. Productions? Good morning to you. Yeah, Kodiak. It was kind of funny because I don't think MLS or NHL or anybody else was having a problem with it, but I think, and I don't know how much of that is true and how much of that was just kind of anecdotal, but apparently they were piping in sounds of crowd noise for the NFL players. They may have done it for hockey players and soccer players too. I just remember watching, I turned on some Premier League soccer a few months ago, thinking it's Sunday, I really don't have anything to do, I'll just sit on the couch and veg and watch some soccer, which I kind of would want to do more of anyway, but and it just sounded weird. It was just like you could hear people yelling at each other and just the ball being kicked, and like that was it. It was like going to somebody's it was like going to a pickup. It's like going to watch a pickup game. Really weird. Welcome back, Andrea. Yeah, it's the Kansas City Football Club and the Tampa Bay footballers. Tom Brady plays for one of them. I don't know which. I think he plays for Tampa Bay. I'm not 100% sure. As a guy who grew up in Denver, so I'm like default Bronco fan, I am rooting against the Chiefs. That's really all I have going for me. Oh, interesting piece choice here. That's interesting. Plays for Tampa. Yeah, I heard this weird stat that Brady has played for like, he's appeared in 40% of all Super Bowls or something crazy. And I was like, that's just nuts. That can't be right. But I mean, he's been in a lot. I think the dude who lives next door, he's got a, I just saw him walk by with a tripod and what looked like a camera or a GoPro or something. He's built a half pipe in his backyard, which I think is awesome. So my guess is they're out there going to start recording some stuff. Oh, got to make sure that's lined up. Okay, that's good. Baseball's more about speed if I'm being honest. Okay, good enough. I was into baseball for like one summer. Before the Rockies were a team up in Denver, we had the Zephyrs, the Colorado Zephyrs, and we would go, and there was a farm league team. I don't know, I don't remember for who. Maybe the Royals, I don't remember. And we would go to their games because it was like, you know, at the time it was like $5 to get in or something, and it was a lot of fun. I would bring my own keyboard, I had a little 3/4 key Casio, and I would sit in the stands and play the bam 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 bam, because there was none at the time. Like the announcer would just be like, number 72, blah blah blah, and that was it. Like there was nothing getting the crowd up or anything. So I was like, well, I could do that. So I did. That was a lot of fun. And then they got the Rockies. So we went to a couple of those games, and my mom kind of became a huge fan. So we watched some games on TV, but that didn't last long. That lasted like a season or two, and then I was kind of like, oh yeah, I don't like baseball. I will say I like going to baseball games. We've got the Round Rock Express up here, local, and those are fun to go to. Like if you get a chance to go to a game, you can just kind of sit there and eat a hot dog, drink a beer or margarita or something, just kind of have fun sitting around. It's not too bad. Yeah, I don't remember. It was a while ago. And then we lost. Then the team folded. And then it was a few years after that we got the Rockies. So, I mean, there was a time when the only teams we had were the Broncos and the Nuggets. We didn't have a baseball or a hockey team. Now we got all four. And a Major League Soccer team. I say we, like I live there. Although Austin's got a Major League hockey team, or Major League soccer team now. The Austin FC. We were driving around the other day to get our rings redone, and we drove by the stadium, and I was like, oh my God, look at the stadium. I totally forgot that we were getting that built. I thought it was already done. Not the video game, Yu-Gi-Oh! Plan is to hang out in Boston. Wait. Going to a game is fun. TV not so much. Do you like tennis, Ben? I've watched some tennis. I think there's a good bit of drama depending on the games the matches you're watching, but I'm not like a huge fan. Is tennis an Olympic sport? Because I think I've watched it, the Olympic teams play, but I don't remember if that's the case or not. Because I'm a huge Olympics fan. Not the video games, Yu-Gi-Oh, D&D, that kind of stuff. What is the... I play nerdy games. I gotcha. Oklahoma has a minor league series ball club. If Texas has hockey team, that's just wrong. We do have a hockey team. We had, for a time, it was the Houston Aeros, AEROS, because of the aerospace industry in Houston. And that went under. And then I moved to Austin, and we had the Austin Ice Bats. And then back in the 90s, late 80s, early 90s, the Minnesota North Stars were bought by Dallas and became the Dallas Stars. And then the Minnesota then got another team called the Wild later. But, yeah, so, the Dallas Stars are, I won't say have always been a cup contender, but they've won the cup a couple times and have always, been kind of a premier team. I hate them because of their rivalry with the Avalanche. But Austin even has a team, the Texas Stars, that play up in Cedar Park. And those are fun to go to too, because it used to be the Austin Ice Bats, was a minor league team. And, going up to the HEB, whatever it's called, the Cedar Park Arena, is always a good time. Get a few beers, wear a jersey, yell at people. It was better when it was the Ice Bats because it was smaller. You pay $5, get right on the glass. There's always a fight, at least a couple. The games would invariably end because the refs made a crap call, and they would get booed off the ice. Stuff would get thrown off the ice. It was crazy pants. It was a lot of fun. But I've always been a hockey fan from a kid, watching DU hockey in Denver. Before we had a hockey team, my favorite was the Bruins, for no real reason. I think I just glommed onto that. So yeah. Texas gets its fair share of ice storms up in Dallas and the Panhandle. They do get inclement weather. That's not an uncommon thing several times a year to get several feet of, a couple feet of snow, some severe ice on highways, stuff like that. It's not Buffalo, New York, but it's, But yeah, Central Texas, we get our one snowstorm a year, our one really cold ice day a year. That's pretty much it. But it's not unheard of. It's actually more common for New Orleans to get snow than it is for Austin. They get snow weirdly quite a bit. It's still rare, but it's not as rare as you'd think. Run to bag 2. All right, M Productions. I'll see you later. Thanks for coming by, man. Appreciate it. I used to go to Coyote games until I got kicked out of. Oh, Jeff, that sounds fun. I don't think I've ever been kicked out of a game. I probably should have been kicked out of a few times trying to get into an Avalanche Red Wings game because the Red Wings suck. 10 degrees before the wind chill. Can't wait. Nice. That's one thing I do miss about Colorado, and I miss while being in Austin, is I love this time of year. I love the cold. And I miss not having any. So I really get happy this time of year. I feel like I'm being recharged. My energy levels go up. And it has to sustain me until, you know, over the summer where it's 105 degrees with a 115 degree heat index. And that's stupid. Like, you can always put on another blanket or another sweatshirt to warm up, but you can only take off so many clothes and stand in front of a fridge or an air-conditioned house or a fan. You know, if you get too hot, there's almost nothing you can do. But people still live here. When I first moved to Texas, it was funny because growing up in Colorado, we didn't have... There's a lot of places that didn't have central air. You'd have... what's up? Hey, Pendle's Kauai. How's it going? Nice of you to drop by on a Sunday. We're building the Pose X-Wing. That's what we're working on right now. Growing up in Colorado... We didn't, when I was in the house we were in, didn't have central air. We had we had central heat. We had a furnace, but we didn't have central air. If we wanted to cool off, we had a window unit in the TV room. And if you wanted to cool off, you go into that room and you keep the door closed. Another house that my dad had a swamp cooler, but it's kind of the same thing. It didn't go throughout the whole house. You kind of had to be right under it in the hallway to get cool. So I would like lay in the hallway with a blanket and take a nap. So when I moved to Texas, I would always complain about the heat. And for a few times, my dad would talk on the phone. And he'd go, "Now, you have air conditioning, right?" I'm like, "Yeah, this isn't like the 30s. Everybody's got air conditioning. It's okay." But I mean, it's that mindset of we don't have central air. But I think now in a lot of places, and even in Colorado, you get a central air unit outside, and everything's built the same way. Gotta go eat now. Okay. Thanks for coming by. Appreciate it. My first summer in Oklahoma was 10 times worse than anything in Arizona due to the damn humidity. Oh yeah, for sure. That's a thing here in Austin too. The humidity's like, it's not the worst it could be anywhere else. Houston's really bad. Even Kentucky's got it bad. It's because it's on the Mississippi, so it's right there with a bunch of moisture just bubbling up. But yeah, Austin's, it's gross. It's like walking through a blanket. Like a wet blanket. It's not fun. Which is why I'm waiting for the kids to graduate, for Greg to graduate high school, and then I can, once the kids are kind of out on their own, I'll be like, all right, are you guys done? Are you living on your own somewhere? Sweet. I'm moving. I suppose I should tell Beth about that. I keep joking that we should move to a mountain town. My mom lives in a mountain town up in Colorado, and it's this place that looks exactly like Northern Exposure or something. It's a mountain town, right? All right, somebody help me out with this encoder preset stuff. I'm overloading my encoder. I don't know what that means. So I think once this is done, maybe before... I think I'm going to cut back on a lot of this stuff. I think I'm going to go away from OBS. Although I can't do dual camera. I'd have to do 2 different cameras for Restream, but we'll see. And I'm thinking of getting rid of Restream Pro because I don't think anybody's watching on my Facebook group or my page, so it's almost pointless having it. It doesn't really offer any other tools. Still got snow on the ground up there. Nice. Yeah, I see pictures from other places where they got snow on the ground. I'm like, wait a minute, where are you? Or places that just got snow. There's some places that just got snow recently in the U.S. I just miss like seasons. I don't like places where it's like, hey, it's hot 11 months out of the year. And then that 1 month it's slightly cooler. It's like, okay, bored. I don't wish for like tornadoes and stuff, so. Do you get a lot of that, Jeff? Do you get tornadoes? Is it dangerous where you are? All right, first of all, I think how many of these? Oh, I only got one. Yeah, I just put a bunch of these in my lug bulk order because I think these are great and I want a ton of them because they would help with microfighter setup a lot, and I could make that TIE bomber a lot smaller if I had a bunch of these. So I think the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to take this guy and make him a TIE bomber too. So I'll get the same number of pieces and just change the wing configuration because it's otherwise the exact same thing. It's got the same bits in the back. I just flip the wings a little bit, make another one that looks just like it. I've got to put a little bomber thing on the bottom here, but I think that's what I'll do. Like, that's more to the east than where we are, so we're sort of safe. We had a few touchdowns. I had one touchdown at the casino where I work for. That was a fun day. Ugh. That'd be terrible. Yeah, they're super great, Andrea. I agree. They're really great. I think it's fun to be like on the design kind of side of stuff, even if you're doing it hobbyist wise, because I'm like, you know what part you guys need? You need a this by this one of these, or you need a this by this, and I just kind of want to, to keep a list of stuff and send it to them and say, hey, make one of these. It would make my life easier. That's the group I want to work for in Lego. You can't really hear it, but out of the corner of the ear, you can hear the skateboarding out there. Can I don't think I can change anything midstream. Yeah, I can't change. Maybe I can change my video bitrate. Recordings can be paused at the recording con. Yeah, I'll have to look at that. That may be part of the reason I feel like it's jerky and a little slow and whatnot. That Poe is neat. I only have the one from the gray blue X-Wing. Yeah, this is it's a different one too. I think it's Is it the same one with like the dark orange suits and the straps? Is it the same guy? I have to see because I think I've got him tied up on a microfighter of that X-Wing, but I don't know if it's the same figure or not. So my next project that I'm working on, it's not really a project. I'm trying to rebuild all my minifigures. At one point, because I'm a dad, my kids wanted to play with the Lego, and I was like, yeah, go ahead. I don't care. I'm not a collector. I don't care if you keep anything, you know, if the stuff's on the shelf, like if it's for display, that's just for me. Don't play with that. But if it's in one of the bins or drawers or it's one of the figures, I don't care. You can do whatever you want. Just clean it up when you're done, right? Which means that I've got all these Frankenstein minifigures all over the place. And so when I'm doing all these different Star Wars ships, I was like, well, I need an Imperial officer. And then I look in my tub of figures and I'm like, well, there's an Imperial officer's shirt. I don't know what hat goes with that or what face or what pants. And so I'm like having to put them all back together. Oh, jacket and pants, yeah. Yeah, I've got that one, I think. When is the Eagle 5 going to happen? Well, first I got to do Serenity. Here's the thing. I know that somebody has already done microfighters of Serenity and Eagle 5. I've seen them. They're out there. I almost don't want to look for them because if I'm going to do them, I don't want to be influenced by what they did because that's a easily subliminal thing to do is look at it, and even if you don't build it exactly the same, there's that one piece that you're like, oh, that's perfect for whatever. And I try to avoid that as much as I can for no other reason than I don't want to like be seen as somebody who's copying other people. Which it's okay for I don't care about theirs. Well, thanks, Jeff. I appreciate that. I'll get right on that. Yeah, maybe I'll work on that on Thursday. It's the same as when I was doing art. I didn't want to like be influenced by other people, so I didn't read a whole lot of other people's art unless it was stuff I knew I wasn't ever going to be as good as. Like I would still read Jim Lee comics because I'm like he was kind of like the paragon of comic book art for me. He could do no wrong. Now, some inkers may have ruined him, and he may have had bad comics that, you know, the writing was terrible, but I always felt like his artwork was always very, very good comic book art. So, and there's a bunch of others that I really liked, like Travis Charest and Ron Lim, even though his wasn't, you know, the greatest stuff ever. I still really liked his Silver Surfer runs and that kind of stuff. This is a very good way of doing this angled. I mean, that's kind of how they've been doing it for years, but you put a hinge piece there, you put another hinge piece there, and then you get that shape. So they've been doing that forever for X-Wings. Oh, so I don't know. Oh, no, that's fine, Andrea. Thanks for coming. You've probably already gone, but thanks for being here. You go do your things. If you go to the Build Factory, that is, there's a guy, he pops in on here occasionally, Brick Vibe. He's a kind of a long-time Bricklink user and YouTuber and whatnot, and he's got a site. His Bricklink store is like one of the biggest in the country. I mean, he always, every time I order, I always see that he's got a ton of parts. Oh man, I don't like this. So he's launched a site. He's had it for a while called the Build Factory, and for a while it was only this one guy's design of lightsabers. But he approached me the other day and was like, "Hey, do you want to get in on this? We could use some of your microfighters or any new designs." So the Cobb Vance speeder I did specifically for that site. I wasn't intent on doing that at all because I'd seen a couple that were already out there, and I was like, "Yeah, those are really good. I'm not even gonna try." But it turned out pretty good. So anyway, there's a handful of microfighters up there now too. The ones that I felt like were the best sellers on Rebrickable. Now it's the instructions only still, and it is a little more expensive for a microfighter to get the instructions. But if you'd like, you can go to the Build Factory and see a couple of the designs that I've got. I was also going to start a couple new designs for like some Clone Wars vehicles, not microfighter, just regular minifig scale, like redesigns of some that have been put out there that haven't really had a second look, a second fair shake at, because we've done the Lat to death, we've done the Falcon to death. I don't know how many interceptors Lego's gonna put out, but so I'm gonna look into some Clone Wars stuff and find out if there's a couple that I know maybe not fan favorites, but missed opportunities and overlooks by Lego to redo, and then give it a shot myself. So look for that as like long-term kind of thing, because it's not like I don't have 18 other things going on. Yeah, I mean, it's all right. And I get, he gets 70% or 30% or whatever the breakdown is. I don't know. 30% of whatever sells. And I told him, I was like, honestly, I get like one sale every couple weeks from Rebrickable. So I wouldn't really. And he's like, oh no, I know how it works. I know that this isn't something you retire on, but just to have it out there. I'm like, okay. Did I miss? I did. Remember that build right there, that little, you can put the round plates next to that modded 2x3. I always forget stuff like that, It's like, oh, I can't put this there because it'll bump into that. I love the sound of this. This sounds like a Street Hawk, like the opening of Street Hawk. That's satisfying, having that piece go in there. So we watched 2 horror movies yesterday in our weekly horror movie, or our weekly movie watching with our friends. We watched An American Haunting. I don't know which way this goes, like that. trying to think back now. American Haunting is basically, I'm gonna try to describe it without ruining it, but it's a period piece. So it's, I want to say it's like 1818, and it's a lot of this sort of you've been judged as a witch kind of thing, but it ends up being something not that. And that's about all I'll say if you want to watch it. I really don't like the Transformer sex. I honestly didn't like that one as much because it was, while it was very, it had like Sissy Spacek and Donald Sutherland in it, and you're like, oh wow, really? So we watched it, and I was kind of like, wait, what's going on? And so you get to the end, and you get what they were doing, right? I get what the story was supposed to be. But I feel like there was enough wrong with it that if you went back and watched it again, you're going to be like, no, that doesn't make any sense. No. I will say it's a cautionary tale. It's kind of a morality play almost. But there's parts that just didn't click for me really well, and I was like, ugh. But there were parts that were really good. Like the set design was amazing, the acting was really good. But I think just kind of what they were trying to do with the story kind of landed with kind of a thud for me. And then we watched The Witch, spelled with 2 V's at the beginning. And it was another period haunting piece, this time in the 1600s in New England. And this one was a little better, but it was a little slow. But because it was, just this one family out in the middle of nowhere in the 1600s, it's not like it could be super fast paced. And I don't know the girl's name, but the girl who was in Queen's Gambit, and I think she was in the New Mutants, handful of other things. So I liked this one a little more. It felt very much like, oh, that's super satisfying. I don't know why, but that's very satisfying. Just that way that back end comes together. I was a little confused about and I'm going to try not to ruin anything, but you do really have to watch it all the way through before some of the motivation makes sense. It's very much like Hereditary. I thought it was the same director, honestly, because it plays out very much like that. There you go. And what was interesting is the speech patterns of the family was very true to like the taken from true life or whatever from the books and the journals and the writings of the time period. So it was very interesting. Okay, so drop that in there. Fold that over. All right. So it had parts going for it, but there were some things that were kind of like, wait, what? It was like stuff that didn't quite land very well, plot device wise. But again, the mom and the dad, the acting in it was great. The mom is played by, and I don't know the actor's name. She was Lady Erin from Game of Thrones. The one who lives in the Eyrie, who was still breastfeeding her like 9-year-old son or whatever. And the very first thing that we see her doing in this movie is she's breastfeeding another child, and we're just like, wait a minute, how do you get typecast as a breastfeeder? That's really strange. So I liked it. It was kind of a crawl of a bit of storytelling and slow build up, but but then at the end, it like suddenly kind of goes, oh crap, and it makes you think about the entirety of the movie after that. We were also watching it at like 10 o'clock at night, so I think it was kind of like, if I'd given it an earlier start, maybe I would have liked it more, but I was a little tired. Wasn't feeling well. Still pretty good. So we all caught up on WandaVision. Oh my goodness, I missed... Yeah, I missed these pieces over here. We all caught up on WandaVision? Please say yes. I'm not going to talk about it because I don't want to ruin it for anybody who might come in at the last minute. I think what they're doing with it is great, because I have no idea what... I'm kind of mad that I watched some spoiler videos, not spoilers, but theories about what's happening, and there was stuff because I didn't read the comics. I didn't read House of M or anything like that. I didn't have any idea who some of these secondary characters were, so knowing what they are in the comics, I feel kind of crap that I know that now. And you're just watching it going, oh, well, if that's the case, that lady's doing this thing and this guy's doing that thing, and you're like, oh no. Times 2. I'm glad I got more of these because there's a couple like tri-wing sets that I want to build, that these are integral to which these are integral. Oh wait. So when that's up, they have to be back. And when this is... Wait, what? Yeah, okay. Gotcha. Let's see, what else? I watched The Dig, which was charming and small and fun. What's up, Brick Vibe? We were just talking about you, actually. It was all bad, too. All lies. None of it good. No, I'm kidding. Yeah, so The Dig was really fun. It was, oh, I really need to research some of these names. The lady who was Sally Sparrow in Doctor Who was just recently in A Promising Young Woman. She's in it, and she plays Mrs. like Emily Pretty, who on her piece of land is buried like an old Anglo-Saxon ship, and it's kind of the story of them discovering it and the guy she hires to help unearth it and stuff like that. And it sounds kind of boring, but it's actually kind of lovely and sweet and, like I said, small and charming, which is kind of what I needed after. Well, no, I watched it before the horror movies, so I guess that's not right. It was good. You should watch it. That's one of the best parts of the first Sam Raimi Spider-Man. When J. Jonah Jameson says that, and he gets like, he's all like, whatever, and then he gets really calm, and he goes, slander is spoken, libel is in print. And then he goes back to like being like crazy about it. That was such a good delivery of that. If it's printed, it's libel. 6 and 1. So yeah, Jeff, my full intention today was to do the Serenity design, but AFOL day snuck up on me and I forgot about it until Friday or Saturday. No, Friday. And so I made plans to call my store and get a set and take advantage of the gift with purchase and stuff. So I got this set and decided to do this instead. So the next thing I do will probably be Serenity. And then we'll see about Eagle 5. And of course, do you do Lone Star or do you do Barf? Do you do both? I don't have any. I only have 2 microfighters that so far could do multiple people. So like the Cloud card, not my design, but you can still see that if you wanted to put a second character in there, you could. So you could put Lobot over here, or you could put one of like the Bespin security guards. The other one I have is, because I couldn't figure out which to use, the something to look forward to. The Mist Hunter, which is Zuckuss's ship, but it's Zuckuss and Forlom. And I just got a Forlom figure. And I don't think I have the Zuckuss figure. I'm going to have to either... I'm pretty sure I don't. Alright, 2, 2. These are all 2s. So I'm going to have to get a Zuckuss figure. And I've got a design for the... the Mist Hunter. So I can do that. So then the question is, should it be Lone Star and Barth? Well, and Lone Star is easy enough to kit bash. It's a dude with hair and a jacket, and, you know, big deal. You'd have to find... I think you could do it. I think you could do... Because I think somebody's wearing a dog head. Like, I think one of the CMFs, he's wearing, like, a dog mask. And then you put, like, a flight suit on him. Like, there's... or the Rebel Technician. I think I've got a figure of it somewhere close by. The Rebel Technician figure is just... You know, he's just got that, like, khaki jumpsuit. You can just do that with the guy with the dog head and kind of fudge your way through it. But you're right. I think it'd probably be easier to just do Lone Star. Because it's hard to design for 2 people. That Mist Hunter thing is basically a giant pit for 2 figures with, like, some extra bits for wings and whatnot. I don't even know... It's been so long since I did it, I don't even know what the piece count or anything is. Somebody did one, they posted it on the Brick Bantha Facebook group. Brick Bantha? Bantha Bricks. Bantha Bricks. The Bantha Bricks Facebook group, they posted a Mist Hunter design on that, and that was that. That struck me. That was really good. I was kind of like, yes. Let's do some more Legends stuff, boys. Ferda. For the Legends boys. For the Thrawn boys. Corellian Trilogy boys. Oh, well that was... Okay. Wrong. Oh, that's gonna be a problem. Oh, there's your problem. Put these jokers on backwards. Yeah, it came in the OG X-Wing. Okay. What came in the OG X-Wing? Oh, the technician. Yeah, yeah. I'm actually, I've got another technician because I've got one that's piloting the GR-75. And then I'm going to do another one that will pilot, but I'm going to replace his head with a Rhodian head. So he can be a mining guild, because there's a mining guild TIE fighter that's like, it's got like one of the solar sections taken off the front of the wing, and it's got like highlighted in yellow. So I'm going to do that. But one of the mining guild people from the Clone Wars was a Rhodian, so we'll just do that. But I think I want to redesign my TIE fighter look. There's a couple really good TIE fighter designs out there that I might just kind of build those instead. I don't mind doing new ships that nobody else has done, but every time I see like another TIE fighter or another Lambda shuttle or another X-Wing, I'm like, and they're all really good. I'm like, well, I don't feel like doing that ever again. It's done too well. They did it too well. I'll just see if they've got instructions for it. Well, I don't think we're going to get through this all today. I thought maybe I might. Took too much time talking. There's a new sci-fi movie out too on Netflix, a Korean, looks like Firefly meets, well, looks like Firefly just meets, but it's like a Korean Firefly looking. It looks kind of cool. I think I'm gonna give that a shot at some point today. Good color in that piece. Ugh. Stud shooters. Stud shooters! But white stud shooters. I'll allow it. Did I not put something on? Oh, there we go. Well, I screwed that up somehow. Did I do those backwards, really? Oh, that is just tragically unfortunate. Oh, man. You guys want to watch me as I take part of this apart? I don't even know. These two pieces are backwards. So I don't even know how I'm going to get under there. That is buried. Always read the instructions, kids. Maybe I can take it off from the bottom. get to it. Oh, man. Oh, this is so hosed. So I finished the Ahsoka book last night. Oh, there we go. Okay. That was fun. That was a fun little read. Took all of a couple weeks. Let's see if I can do this. Now it's on to Thrawn Ascendancy, which is the first part of the new Thrawn trilogy. It looks like a hell more complicated than the X-Wing from 2000, Ben. It is. Not quite as complicated. Oh, there we go. That's what I was waiting for. I don't know why this didn't happen in the first place. Not quite as complicated as the UCS, but still rather... I think with the advent of smaller pieces, more customizably shaped pieces, there is a change towards the ability to make the shapes a little more refined. Hence, like the really small gradient right here you're able to get. So, that said, I wouldn't say it's super complicated, but it's pretty... that, and that, and that, and this, and that, and that, and then we're back on schedule. Yeah? Oh, the chair. Go about the chair. There we go. All right. Only because I noticed that when I was putting this on, it's supposed to line up here, but there was this switch, and I knew this wasn't holding on to anything, so back to it. There we go. Yeah, stuff like these pieces, these like extra long slopes, weren't around when the first X-Wings were made, or the first Y-Wings, or the first anythings. So you had to do like a lot of... All right, Jeff, take it easy. Gotta go on a house tour. Hey, good luck. I'll talk to you soon. So a lot of these things, I feel like that's why they're remaking these. All right, that's our first sticker. Not gonna do that. They're redoing these for the most part because they've got newer pieces and they can make the ships a little better. But I almost feel like, you know what, at the same time, why don't you also make some new stuff, you know? That's also the fault of the more recent movies where they just did not do any new ships. They were just like, oh yeah, we hear people like X-Wings. Let's just make new X-Wings. It's like, in 30 years from the Clone Wars, we went from ARC 170s and V19s and Eta class and Sprite and, you know, Delta class 7Bs to TIE fighters and X-Wings and stuff. Even in 10 years, they dropped Z95s and, you know, arrowheads for A-Wings. But you can't tell me that in 30 years they're not going to do a completely different style of ship completely. It just seemed like really, really poor. Like they didn't get like designers involved. They just... And I know they did. I mean, I don't mean to downplay like the designers from the movies. It's frustrating. Clown King 133. Thanks for being here. Appreciate you coming by. We're doing Poe's X-Wing. That's what we're working on. And we're chatting about stuff. So where are you hailing from, Clown King? What's up, Cafe Corner? What's up, CC? Thanks for coming in. Appreciate you being here. All right, so we got that sorted. Did all you Lego nerds, fellow Lego nerds, take part in AFOL Day yesterday? Were we all part of that? That's where I got this, was AFOL Day at my local Lego shop. Got me the Year of the Ox build, and got the, oh, I got two of these now. Got the Valentine's Day bag, and the like a little fire city themed fireboat scooter something, jet ski. Sadly not. Discord just got one actually. Cool. Your mom and dad had plans. Oh, that sucks. Yeah, I'm trying to figure out how to get my new bride, an account so I could abuse it and go and say, okay, well, my purchase for 99 and under, but over 75 is this. My wife would like to purchase this thing. And then they go, well, that's one per household. I'm like, oh, yeah, but she has a different account, you know. Oh, whoops. That needs to be... Why are you guys letting me get away with not doing the stuff? Yeah, because I wanted to get the current Star Wars sets. I got this and it's okay, but it's just not. I was kind of hoping that something else would be out. Because anymore, I feel like they're overpriced and they don't come with figures that I want. So, all right, got our cockpit on. I'm assuming these are going to hold the wings in place when we get those back. What time is it? We got 10 minutes. All right, let's crack open one more bag and that'll be about it. Bag 4. We're going to get to, what's her name? What is her name? It's on the box. She's so memorable from the movie. Janna. Lando's daughter. Granddaughter. Whatever. See, I was confused. I was like, is it Lando's daughter? Is it Finn's sister? Because, I mean... Finn and her were talking about, like, having the exact same experience becoming a stormtrooper, because she was a stormtrooper. But I think they're doing like a Lando series with her in a book, maybe. I don't know. Yeah. So we got a Knight of Ren and we've got a Jenna. So first of all, her headpiece, her hairpiece is outstanding. I don't think it's a dual mold. It might be. But that's really nice. I mean, that took some work to get that done. So that's very cool. Knight of Ren, I don't really care about. I kind of want to go back and get all the Knights of Ren. Here's the helmet for this particular one. I don't know his name. But I think in order to get them all, like just to get the sets that have them all in it, you need like it's like $700 or something stupid. But it'd be pretty cool to get all the figures, just the figures, I think. One of the most the worst untapped portion of the movies was the Knights of Ren. Like, everybody was excited about that. Like, you can tell sometimes that they aren't, the people who create the movies just aren't listening to fans. Nobody cared about anything that went on in those movies, but everybody wanted to know who the Knights of Ren were. And guess what? We don't know. At least not in the movies. I'm sure there's books and comics about them and stuff like that, but so there's your Knight of Ren. All right, let's get Jenna together here. Looks like she has a cape. No, something else in here. It's probably a rubber band. She has a bow and arrow. She has a quiver. Just need her legs. There we go. For instance, I thought this character Jenna was pretty cool, but they almost did nothing with her character. And I get it; they're setting up a new universe where they can explore with shows and comics and books, but I think they introduced too many characters at the last minute. Yes, you can ask a question. Wow, we should have done that a long time ago. Whatever you want. I think. No, but I think ground beef might taste better. I've never liked bows and arrows with Lego because it gives you the impression of a thing, but it doesn't really work in terms of them holding it. Right? It never really works. So there's Jenna. Hi, Jenna. Knew a girl in college named Jenna. Not spelled the same. Okay. All right. Next bit. What do we got? Like 5 minutes? Let's wrap this up a little bit. Even though they completely did nothing, like, at all, which seems to me like having different directors with conflicting story leads to incredibly bad storytelling. You'd think, Kodiak, yeah, it seems like that, right? Like bringing somebody in who isn't really privy to what's going on, and then just having them give free rein, and then pulling that all back because you didn't like the way they did it, even though you didn't tell them what to do. Could go on for days, I'm sure, and it's been done to death, so let's not. Even now, like, there's people who've read the first book of High Republic who are like, this is garbage. It's like, you guys are never effing happy. All you want is Darth Revan. I get it. Darth Revan was pretty cool. Revan. I, too, liked the Old Republic. But you can't please all the people all the time. And last night, all those people were at my show. By the way, Lego animation going up soon. Do you have a video going up? I will look for it. I'm looking forward to the I'm just wanting the complete Skywalker Saga Lego game to come out so I can lose my mind being a completionist. Getting, perfect Jedi 100% studs or whatever on that. Darth Nihilus, yeah. Darth Malgus, Darth Ikoral. So, one of the things I've been looking at is Big Kid Bricks is a custom minifig maker. and he does a lot of Darth so-and-so. Like, he doesn't do like a lot of these Legends characters. There's a few. Like, I can get a Cade Skywalker from him, which I'm going to, which I think is fantastic. But he has a lot of Darth. He has a lot of Sith Lords. And I think Darth Nihilus is one, like, you can get a figure for that. Took me all day. So I need to do another TikTok, I think, but I don't know how to do it yet. I want to do a quick build of a microfighter, but I haven't used TikTok a whole lot, so I don't know if I should, like, because I think you can record it and then speed it up and then post it once it's sped up. But I also want to do like a quick voiceover that's like a minute long of the ship. So like the quick build videos that I do on YouTube, but faster. So we'll see. Maybe I'll take an old one and just speed it up a bit. Oh, no. Until I've been building too much, you're getting the Lego finger. All right. So I'm going to call it here in a second because I do have a podcast to go record and I want to give myself plenty of time to also go do yard work and put some furniture together. So I got a busy day. But thank you everybody for being here. It was nice seeing you, Kodiak, Jeff, Andrea, Clown King, thanks for being here. And I'll do my best to check out your video when I get done here. And you guys enjoy rooting for your team or rooting for your favorite commercial during the big sports ball event today. It'll be up in an hour. Okay, yeah, I probably won't get back online real quick because I'm gonna be doing some other stuff, but I'll give it a go this afternoon or this evening. Yeah, and I'll be back Thursday. Maybe finishing this up. Yeah, I think I'll hold off on finishing this. We'll just do the rest of this on Thursday. And then I can do this guy too. Put him together if we run out of time. And I've got a couple little poly bags. So yeah. So thanks for being here, everybody. I'm going to figure out this encoding thing. I realize that it looks like it's been jumpy and stuttery and stuff. So let me figure out what's going on there. But yeah, thanks for coming by. And I will see you guys on Thursday. Have a good rest of your day. Ciao.